What it do, y'all? What's good, beautiful people? How are y'all doing today? I had a very interesting match in Overwatch, and I want to review it, and then I want to go, a little talk about it. So we're gonna analyze some of my gameplay. What could have been done completely different in this situation? So let's go through this. All right. Starting off the match, and I am starting off and I am playing Torb, right? Took me a little minute to get to lane, which is my problem. Um so I got turned up because I think Torb on attack is pretty good. There's a lot of Pharma Mercies, pharmacy, picks going on. So it's to kind of stop that, hold these angles and everything like that. Boom. So Junkrat's coming for me. I'm going for what I can at the angle because we're not fully in that side of the choke, but we're holding them on a choke. So if you also looked right there, which is very important, um, it looked like the tank went to thirst for a kill, but all the healers bagged back a little bit here, and that's why he was out of play. But I can't really move because I have a Junkrat on me. Yeah, he pushed up too hard. See, and now the team is starting to kind of fold in because he didn't back up, you know. And then I'm getting pushed by Junkrat here. So Bradley comes out and says, "The Symmetra, you need to attack the healers." Okay. Almost hit escape like I was in game, right? So they're getting this push. They're getting a lot off of that exchange, which honestly it looked like was the occurrence of the tank pushing up too close, and he died, which gave them this opportunity here. Still doing what I can. Tank ults, walking up a bit, you know, trying to go for this Lucio and Junkrat, but I get Orisa ulted, and then we die. But as you can see, and now that I'm going back and I'm kind of looking at this, right? So, which this is gonna play. This is actually kind of crazy that now that I'm going back and I'm looking at everything from my point of view, is that the tank ulted, right? He ulted, and he's fighting the Orisa. He's fighting the Orisa in his ult, which she ults him back. Interesting. Why would you activate a Rama ult, right? When his team was behind him, right? So we go back and we gotta look through this play. Team is behind him, and in his ult, we're doing what we can. We get through the push. But if you have Rama ult, you should not be attacking the tank. All their squishies are literally right there. Those are the people that you should be chasing down. You ignored the tank. You should be rushing after there go Junkrat. So why were you in front of Orisa? Junkrat and Lucio were both right there. Walk past her. Can't see which call's behind you. Maybe you didn't see him, but you should be pushing past them while we're coming in. We're pushing in. Chase them down. Your healers are behind you. They're trying to heal you up, especially in the ult. So you're all good. You know. So another flop play. So far, I'm counting 2 situations that the tank himself could have 100%, I feel like, prevented in just bad position. We weren't able to fully get into the choke and stuff like that to really make the play. So at this point, we're kind of getting folded in a bit. We're not able to really get it. DPS guys, you need to kill the fucking healers. Well, this is where this video starts to get interesting here.
DPS, you guys need to kill the healers. No.
Oh, wait.
No, the healers. The healers.
Okay. So I killed the Junkrat, right? So setting up a turn to help stop at the choke.
Whoa.
Boom. Behind them, we got a Moral ult, which I ain't missing my shots.
So I ulted. Hopefully you guys can use it.
The tank is by itself. You didn't hear the Moral ult.
I must have been hit by
But he's running up and healing. The tank.
And he's ulted. Yeah, that must have been
Over there, trying to get around the ult. Can't. looking
He
for the
ulted,
listen
my
for the
turn.
Junkrat ult, and the tank died in that fight. And then he screams, "GG, well played."
Tragic. Nicely played. Yep.
So at this point, die again.
They
Two
can push us,
pushes,
we can
or
push
this is the
them, and
third
all
push
maps aren't created equal.
because they tank die, we fold,
All maps
fight,
aren't equal for all team
you know.
colors.
So now I swap. I
Standing
ulted, I
side
swap to
using
try
the
to
same
create
mode
some type
would
of
be a
pressure for their lineup because they're all standing quite together. So Junkrat pick is to kind of prevent a lot of that and create some of that pressure for when they're all lined up like that. Maybe get some traps under Arista's foot and stuff is what I'm thinking, especially since I feel like the other DPS isn't really creating
We're
pressure
not
with
winning off
Symmetra.
rip. We're not just like stomping them.
Right?
That's it. GG.
So we're getting voted.
Game over.
Right? But now,
I'm not having fun.
pay attention.
Wow, people.
Our tank has
got
officially
hands
quit
to
playing the
fucking
game.
swap up play. Like, God dang.
Bro literally quit playing
And you
after
are a
this.
tank,
At this
you
point
can
of the game,
fucking kill
he
them.
quit playing. There's still another point. We could have held them.
Like
And look at
one of,
this.
like,
Getting the
the
kills and
biggest
everything that we need at this point,
I was playing like,
you know,
because I play champs that are like late game champs. So
trying to create the pressure that we needed. We're making the swaps that we needed to make, you know, to turn the game around.
But my champ is behind by default. They'll be like, why
But-
are you 0-0-0?
He quit playing.
Because I can't do anything to them. If you want, I can go 0-4. Great.
You know.
Yeah.
So he literally quit playing the game before we could make our adaptions to hold them better at the last point, because the game was far from over, you know. Did I show the
0-0.
scoreboard yet?
That's the only reason why I want it. I just want to be able to just.
And then our other DPS says we keep dying because you suck at tank. Now, so far, we did see some situations where our tank was out of play fighting the whole team with no heals or anything behind him, which I know, like, playing tank, a lot of the cases could be that you really don't see that no one's with you. But with Rama, I feel like that with no heals on him, he is mad squishy. He is very squishy. So pushing at a full team like that when you should just be slow rolling it, you know, and just because we're just holding, you know, and getting the picks when we can and the setups when we can. You shouldn't real deal, like, a lot of the times be pushing in like that unless you 100% know that your healers are behind you. Outside of that, it's just the stall game. Because without healers on him, the dude is gonna fall over because he doesn't have sustain.
Because they know he said nothing.
So now everybody on the team is rallied up. We realized that that round was not our best round, right? But we can do better, right? We can turn the game around and we can learn from our mistakes here, which is what this stuff is all about. So boom, we're making the changes to our picks. We're trying to go. Has nothing to do with that healing numbers or their deaths. 100% on the tank. What? So wait, take a look at the scoreboard, right? Because this part is kind of important here.
Because they know he said nothing.
Very important for what's to follow. Okay. So at this point in the game, which is literally at the start, which is the start of the next round, and ain't much healing really went on to make a big difference, right? There isn't really a big difference in our heals. I believe this person right here, the burnt one, is playing Lucio, so we're gonna kind of exclude his heals because they're passive, you know. And we're going to look at the comparison between these two, which is, you know, the Mora and their heals, which at this point in time they have more heals than them. So it isn't even a huge difference in the heals, which is pretty much what this video is about, as you can see at the start. So there is a little bit DPS diff there. We weren't able to secure our kills, but like literally we just got steamrolled through all the previous points. So we're going, and as you can see, tank not playing.
You can't survive with 6,000 heals.
All right, so listen up.
Bruh. Come on, man. You got enough heals to win. They just won with the same amount of heals.
Overwatch. Did you check Overbuff recently?
The minimum average heals per first match
Bro,
is 5k.
look at their heals.
You are under
You
5k.
said 5K?
They're winning with the same heals.
That is
Well,
the average
we had the
healing.
same heals
Their
last
healing is
round.
not on
We
point
literally
either,
both
but our
teams
healing
had
is absolute
2,800.
trash. Look at the statistics in the data. Like,
Bro, if you don't play the damn game and stop talking about some damn statistics,
do
nigga.
some research outside the game before you jump into competitive. If you don't care.
Literally.
So, his argument on quitting is that he says if you check a website that the minimum heals that you're supposed to have for the first match is 5K. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody in the game was under 5K in heals. So what statistics and what ranking are those numbers being pulled from? For him, maybe he didn't even look at the scoreboard himself to understand the shit that came out of his mouth, to understand that there is not a big gap in the heals, you know, that every one of the healers were under 5K. 5K?
They're winning with the same heals.
They are winning the match with the same amount of heals. So what are you getting on about?
Well, we had the same heals last round. We literally both
Our
teams
healing
had
is absolute
2,800.
trash. Look at the statistics in the data. Like,
Look at the statistics and the data is what he's using for his reason not to continue, not to play the game. You don't play the damn game and stop talking about some damn statistics, nigga.
do some research outside the game before you jump into competitive. If you don't care.
Literally.
Competitive.
Yeah, literally, we both.
Oh wow, the
across
other
the
team
board,
is doing a good job. I don't want to play.
Done. You have sub
Every
4K
group
healing on
had
second round, and
2,800.
their healers had died 3 times.
And then we started to
Yeah,
fall
totally.
behind
Oh,
because
okay.
we didn't have a person
Yes,
to
at this
heal
point it is.
anymore.
So I've given up because you guys are fucking clueless.
He gave up.
And I'm not gonna argue.
You sound really mad.
You
I'm sorry.
sound like okay. Okay. So this is the part that's really just kind of crazy, right? His reasoning for quitting the game is kind of crazy and it's stupid because it removes the whole possibility of literally making a comeback. I've seen games and I've had games where literally on defense we got like we held them all the way down to the last second. They made one good play, secured the point, you know, and it held us out. And then held us out after we were stomping them. You know what I mean? So that's one reason why you never give up, because there's always the space for adapting. There's always the room for making the changes that you need. There's always the biggest possibility of fucking playing the game better. Do not rage quit. Do not give up. Give your team a chance and an opportunity for us to see the mistakes that we're making to make the changes to help win the game. So if you're this type of person, if you're this guy who yells at the team about, oh, well, this isn't happening, instead of making constructive criticism, for especially in a team-based game, for what we as a team need to do better, and yourself. What counter pick do you need? What other character should you be playing as a tank? How should you be playing, especially if you're the tank? How should you be playing and defending the payload so that you can help secure the picks? Should you pick a hog so that maybe you can snatch one of the healers, or help burst down the tank a little bit more with damage, if that's the issue? There are other ways and situations that you can help change the game efficiently for every role, and especially the tank, because you control the pace of the game. If you're pushing up when you need to be pushing up, if you're pushing up too far and you're dying, and then if your healers are lacking, say, hey, healer, stay with me. I just need more heals, and then DPSs, maybe we need this character, we're not bursting them down fast enough, etc., etc. These are things, this is constructive criticism instead of simply crying and saying, hey, y'all under 5K healing, I'm not playing this no more. Their healers are not dying, and not giving your team the opportunity, even in the first round, to make the changes. We need to blow our ults so that we could get a proper swap. So we can adapt. It's the final point. We realized that, like you saw, we realized that we were losing, and we're making the changes that could be made to hold out on that final point. So never quit, adapt. Never fucking quit. Take the time to see what you're doing wrong and fucking adapt. Now, my real question to you guys out here is, what are your thoughts on this? Do you agree with the tank? Is this how you feel? You know? Or what ways do you suggest for giving constructive criticism? You know, this is just a wild concept for quitting games and leaving games when, like I said, there's always a way to win. There's always a way to win. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that bell to know when my next upload is coming. And I will catch you beautiful motherfuckers next time. Deuces.